Hey everybody, it is Cinnamon Cooney, your Art Sherpa, and today I'm going to show you how you can paint this adorable, cute pumpkin patch scarecrow. The scarecrow has a really cute, like almost art doll look to it. It's really beginner friendly, actually very simple to do. If you check the description below, there's a link to our website, and if you go on this video page on our website, you're going to see that there's a traceable, you're going to see that there's a step-by-step, and a whole bunch of extra information to help you paint this, even if you're really, really new at acrylic painting. This is a full real-time tutorial where we explain every single step of the process, the mixing, the color mixing, the brushes, the techniques, everything. On the mic is my husband, John.
Hey guys.
He helps us do that by, one, helping us go live. He also switches one of our 4 or 5 cameras. We have so many cameras running around, I can't even keep track anymore. Zooms into the action, make sure you see what the brush is doing, make sure you see that whatever I'm talking about, you can see it actually happen. And the result of that is it helps you get a better painting. And if you're sitting here today thinking, I like art, I like watching art videos, I don't really think I can do art, I would love to just personally encourage you to jump in and join us, because painting is just fun and it's for everyone. And I promise you can do better than you think as long as you know what the steps are. And to that end, I'm ready to just jump on in and talk about our materials.
All right.
And get started on our lesson. Let's go.
All right.
All right, so here we go. Got my little palette over here. I have my example painting right here. Now, if you can, hop over to the website and print out your step-by-step, especially if you're new to painting. I highly suggest this because what it's going to do is it's going to let you know where I'm going in the lesson. Sometimes it's hard on these live tutorials to know where the teacher's going and what they're going to be doing. And these things give you a little bit of an anchor to that. Also, it will help you realize that there's steps and layers that we're going through and not feel so overwhelmed. It's a really useful resource and it is free, which makes it even better. Because free is really the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got to put those money into the art supplies. You need as much of the stuff to be free as possible. Now here I have an 11 by 14 artboard, right? This is Artist Loft. This is a pack, just any panel, pack, paper, whatever you want to paint on. We like to put wishes on here. I do them in watercolor pencils so they can easily go into the paint and disappear into the painting. We have wishes for Rebecca's neighbor. She's too young for a current thing that she's going through, and we're just wishing that good energy, angels, love, light, people who can support her around her and around her family at this time. We are hoping for a relief for Sharon's husband. He's in the middle of a flare-up, and we're just hoping that that alleviates and he has no more pain and he can get back to work enjoying himself. And then a belated birthday, belated happy birthday, Donna, to Donna, and an on-time happy birthday to Kimberly. So those are butterflies or moderators inside of our community, and they help us do the shows, and we're super appreciative of everything that they do. So if you want to throw up some birthday cakes, if you're really new here and you haven't been to the live, we love emojis. Share like the good emojis, don't get me in trouble. Share some birthday cakes, share some good stuff, throw it out there, show them the love, because we love to show the love on the channel. Now, to begin this, I think what I'm going to do is what is the easiest way? I'm going to show you by measurement. You guys have the traceable, so don't feel like you've got to draw, but if you're trying to draw, I'm going to show you a couple things. If I am to look at Mr. Scarecrow Face, and I was to say his hat comes down 2.5 inches, right, from the top of the surface over here. So I might make a little mark 2.5 inches. And his little face comes out just under 6 inches. So this is kids chalk. I'm gonna make a little mark over here just under 6 inches. And his little chin ends at about 9 inches. This is gonna just help me make sure that this one that I paint is pretty much the same as the one that I put on here. And then I'll sketch this out and paint real quick so you can really see it. 7.5 inches for the shoulder. 7.5 inches for the shoulder. But it will be definitely way below that, so it would be like right about there. And that is how he would take up space. And how that translates into paint or chalk or however you get it in. You could use your traceable at this stage while I am paint sketching this in. And if you never used a traceable before, don't stress. On the video page, there's a whole video on how to do that. Because we don't expect you to know how to do things you've never ever seen before. That is not a thing that we expect. So I'm going to load up on a number 8 cat's tongue. You could use a round brush. You could use a filbert. A little bit of my brown paint. And I'm going to come here and make a little oval. This is kind of a lot of fun to do. I'm going to come here and make a little oval. And this is going to be our scarecrow face. I don't have to be like super precious or particular about it because everything you see is going to get painted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all going to be all good. And every time you make an art doll, if you've ever made art dolls, they're all a little bit different. So celebrate the differences between everybody's scarecrow. That's how the pumpkin patch gets so much wonderful diversity. Otherwise, it'd be a really boring pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a line over here from the left-hand side, and I arc this up, right up to meet that little lip. There we got the face in. And then just to remind myself that this is a hat, I'm going to bring a little mark up like that. Now I have the mark over his shoulder. How far out does his shoulder go? So I'm going to come from about here on the chin. And I'll go ahead and make that little mark out. And then I can make my little ruffle, and the ruffle basically goes like this. There's a ruffle. See how I go like line, smile, line, frown.
Oh, yeah.
Line. You're going to love this. Smile. If you've never seen the smile and frown ruffle before, go ahead and, celebrate that moment. If you're like, wait, I suddenly get that ribbon thing. Line, frown, line. And then hide a little bit of frown. See how that makes a little really discernible ruffle?
Yeah.
So smiles and frowns makes ruffles all around. Oh yeah, I'm goofy like that. Now, I definitely want to have a nice smile on him, and I want to have nice eyes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to first put in my smile. I'm going to come over towards the left-hand side. I'm going to make a little kind of cheek mark. It looks like a little smile mark. And I'm going to come all the way over here to the other side, make another little cheek mark. And then how this one works is we go down and across and up. Not too bad, right?
Yeah.
Art dolls. I used to actually make art dolls, which is why this has a bit of that feel to it. I used to paint their little art doll faces. Now I'm going to give him his little triangle nose. Because, he's got one. Aw, isn't that great? You can already kind of see him coming in, can't you? Dipping my brush in the water. Now the eyes are a lot of fun. I'm going to want to make sure that the bottoms of the eyes are just a little bit above the nose. On both places. See how we got those going? And we're going to bring these up. And I'm going to bring this up. Yeah, we got it bringing it up. Bringing it up. And then the shape just comes around like that. Look at that. They're sort of like a rounded triangle, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's all we're doing there. A little rounded triangle. And you can adjust them. You can bring the line in further if you want and bring it closer to the nose. Because we do a lot of painting around here. So there is some adjustment that you can make to your little scarecrow guy to put anything that you want on him anywhere that you want. Now that that's all in, I'm going to take a clean brush and I'm going to just take these wonderful watercolor wishes and hopes and intentions for people's well-being and put those out there. If you ever want to leave us a wish, we have a special file in our Facebook group that you can leave a wish in, and I do check those every day. And a lot of those wishes make it onto the show. And also into our community's canvases, because in our community, a lot of people will be painting, and they will take on other people's wishes and put them on their own canvas. Just kind of as a pay-it-forward positivity that we like to do.
We call those light keepers.
Light keepers. I'm going to put out a really cool color here. I'm going to put out all my colors now. Phthalo blue. That's a good color.
It's one of the bluer of the phthalos.
Phthalo green. The oxazine purple. The colors are in the description below. Let's put a little quinacridone magenta. Oh, I've gotten all squishy weird. I got to put it through the tube ringer. Quinacridone magenta.
Taken from the wild quinacridones.
They run around, them wild quinacridones.
Quinacridonia.
Quinacridonia. A faraway kingdom of magical creatures that only artists can see. I'm going to add out a little titanium white. So that was yellow ochre right there. And after I get it all out, I will go through and put it all back out, like tell you all the names of the colors again, because I don't want you guessing. You don't need to do that. You're all good. Now I'm going to put out a little of my Cad Red Medium.
You've taken half the fun out of showing up late to a YouTube event. And that's guessing the colors.
Well, I do this weird thing where I hide all the information in the description, fully described, right down there. But you got to open it to see it. And almost all the videos will have all the brushes and colors listed in them, because I want you guys to be able to find this stuff or find the exchanges and really just essentially be able to paint this easily.
Biggest secret.
I may wait to put out that, but I'm going to put it out now. So let's go over the colors. That is, in this line of paint, which is acrylic by Senlier, it is Cad Red Light, but I would say this is actually more of a Cad Orange. In most other paint lines, like if you had a set of Liquitex Basics, that would probably be their Cad Orange. You're so fast, baby. All right, let's go through it again. Oh, wait, we're missing one. 111.
Which one?
Black.
Oh.
This is Carbon Black, but you could use Mars Black or Lamp Black or Blackity Black or Vanta Black, if you had some Vanta Black. If you're a famous artist who's painting with me right now with your Vanta Black thinking, I'm tired of giant art installations, what I want to do is paint a cute scarecrow, you could just use your Vanta Black if you need to.
Just if you had it.
That's a funny insider art joke that if you were not in on the art world would not be as funny. Okay. But if you were in the art world, I threw down and I threw some shade.
In all seriousness,
yeah.
If you went to our website and clicked on the video on the top and typed in black in search, would you find a video that describes all the different blacks if you had any questions about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
We made a big art quest video. It was like an hour long. Would you think that we have an hour to say about black? Yes, we do.
But there's a lot about black.
There's a lot about black. Anything you need to know about black. You'll leave it going, oh, that was like art school for black. And I'll be like, yeah, now you know. So we have Carbon Black, Quinacridone Magenta. We have Cad Red Light, but in most color sets, you would call that an orange. Dioxazine Purple, Cad Red Medium, Cad Yellow Medium, Yellow Ochre, Titanium White, Phthalo Green, and Phthalo Blue. And that is the palette for this painting.
That is the palette.
That is the palette for this painting. Guess what? You can change up the colors as you like. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Have fun. This is art.
We're not photo replicating a
no,
cute
we're not.
Scarecrow.
We're not. I'm taking a tool here. Please don't photo replicate the scarecrow.
If anybody comes back
and says, paint a scarecrow that's fun for you and makes you happy. That's all I want for you.
That's not a natural scarecrow color.
This is Phthalo Turquoise, and you make it by mixing 1 part Phthalo Blue to 1 part Phthalo Green. Now, I'm using a tool here called an artist knife. This one set is made in plastic, and they're very economical. You can get them all the way up to like incredible, like 300-fold steel that are all edged. But these are wonderful, and they're a great way to start out. And this is going to let me make the background color. And I'm going to use a big brush. Let's use a big brush. This is a number 26, Ruby Satin Bright. Oh. You could also use, it's a short handle though, so that's why the number's bigger. If you got a long handle brush, I would say this is about a 10. For most lines. Not every line, but for most lines. Because there is no standardized sizing. And what I'm doing is I'm mixing a very, very light turquoise. And I'm going to just paint in. Guess where you could see this step? We're just completing step 2 almost. I'll let you know when we're all the way through step 2 of your step-by-step. We're going to paint it all in. Some things to think about. I like to come back with the blue a little bit because I make my little grass hat sort of fluffy. So I want the sky to peek out from behind the little grasses. So I will sometimes move my sky color behind the hat. And really, this is all just a painting in blue. So it's a great time if you guys want to say hi or get a question answered, because I'm just painting blue for a minute.
Let me go back up here. I'm sure I saw a couple things come by here. Now, I saw a question about your soap.
Yes.
You have soap?
I have soap. I have soap specifically for acrylic brushes.
There's it.
Yeah.
Is it bad to soak your brush in alcohol?
So here's what. Don't soak it up through the ferrule because these guys use the wrong kind of glue. All of them do. I don't even want to tell you about it. And it will start to loosen the glue in your ferrule. But you do want to soak it up to here if the paint is dry on your brush. If your brush is a synthetic brush. When you start using natural hair brushes or natural bristle brushes, much like your own hair, it can dry those out and you would have to condition afterwards in some kind of way. Something you might not know.
Mm-hmm.
I have a whole really cool blog about brush washing, and you don't even have to have my soap for it to help you because it will improve your brush washing even if you're using something like Dawn.
Yeah.
No. Which you could.
You could totally use it.
But what you do want to do after every single painting session is wash your brushes.
Mm-hmm.
That part's not optional. My soap is optional. Awesome, but optional.
And what's interesting...
But what brush washing is not optional.
It's true. It's
I love that. It's a beautiful color. Rinse out. Guess what I'm going to do next?
What you going to do next?
I'm going to take a little bit of my green over to my brown and make a deep kind of foresty green. Foresty green. And just paint everything on the shirt below the smile, frown, ruffle.
Yeah.
In green. I bet so many people now from now on are going to be in their studios going, smile, frown, smile, frown.
Yep. I'm going to.
But you're going to find you smile all the way through when you do it.
That's totally what I'll be doing. Smile, frown.
Smile, frown. John does not paint in the studio after we're done doing the lives.
Now,
he's an honorary.
Lori was asking, is baby shampoo okay for brush washing?
Sure, it's better for like watercolor brushes. But what it is that the issue with acrylic is it gets up into the ferrule and you have to get it out or it blows out your brushes really quick. That's why I even bothered to make a soap. I wasn't just like looking to have a thing to have. It was like a thing I was trying to solve in my own art practice because acrylic wears your brushes out so fast. With watercolor brush, I mean, the washing of them is just part of the upkeep and conditioning those hairs and giving them longevity. But with acrylic, you're really in a battle for your brush's longevity every single day. Not to over dramatize. I'm going to sip some water out of my crafty Chica mug.
Cynthia just had a good question. I was just like, which is better, stretched canvas or boards?
Neither is better.
Neither is better.
Neither is better.
This reminds me of...
So here's functionally the difference. A stretched canvas will give you a drum, and that drum gives you kinetic energy. So as you're painting, you may find that it sustains you a little bit longer and kind of keeps you going. You get less fatigued. A board gives you stability, allows you to do fine detail work. You can really rest your hand on it. They're easier to store. They're both about the same difficulty to frame, and it really comes down to your preference as an artist. And even to that point, painting on pads of canvas, if you're just not wanting to stretch or use a board, all of those are equally good. They just give you different pluses and minuses.
Different ideas and thoughts.
We're almost through step 2, John.
Step 2.
Well, we're almost through it. We've got a color in all of his face. I can keep answering questions because we're going to take a little bit of this yellow ochre. See how I come in from the edge here a little bit? And I flip my brush over to load it. That gets a little more paint in the belly of my brush. And I'm painting all of his face.
All of his face?
All of his face with this color. By the way, feel free to change the gender of your scarecrow to anything you want. Age, anything. Just change, customize for you. It is your painting.
Well, I mean, as it stands, this scarecrow could kind of go either way.
That's true. That is super true.
This is a,
stylish metro scarecrow.
It's a metro straw.
It's a metro straw.
We don't,
But the point is in your own art, make things work for you where you're happy. Reflect your ideas, the way you see the world. That is one of the few places where really, really kind of being very centered in self is an okay thing to do. Because art is about you getting your own self-expression out and hearing your own voice. Even as you're painting along with tutorials, there'll be little bits of you that sneak into the painting, I promise. You can't help it. It comes out in your brushstroke.
Your flavor.
Your flavor. Your flavor will get into the art, and it should. I'm just kind of giving a nice even coat of
Nobody
that
likes
color.
Can't do uneven coat.
Well, I could very easily. Right?
But who wants uneven?
I don't want an uneven coat, and I may kind of round the face, moon out the face a bit more. That's a nice thing. Painting this sort of folk art style really gives me a lot of choices in what I'm doing. So let me show you where we're at. So if you were painting along, you are here now. And we're going to move on to here. So that's going to be kind of doing some outlining, blushing the cheeks, putting orange in the nose, starting to think about the eyes, and I'll show you how to do the fabulous cadmium heart leaves that are blowing away. Are you blown away? I'm blown away. Are you blown away?
I am feeling blown away.
All right. So I'm going to take a little bit of my cad yellow over to my quinacridone, not very much. I'm going to get a lot of white onto my quinacridone. In fact, I may even wipe out some of the pink onto my brush because I want a very light color. And I'm going to come under the eyes. And I'm going to pink them up. This is maybe, for new painters, the hardest part. So I want you to watch what I'm doing here. I'm blending this by lightly stroking out the pink. This is kind of where you get some of your art doll effect from. I do like it. It is enough to fight for, in my opinion. But it can be a little bit challenging at first if you've never done a blush to blush something. And that's what we're doing. We're just blushing. Everybody needs to blush sometimes. I've got to do some lines into my eyes, I see. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to come down about, an inch, and I'm going to just go like that. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to go down about the same distance, and I'm going to go like that. Because, you know, eyes. And then our scarecrow is looking in this direction. So I'm going to go from this corner down to the lower part of the lid in a curve. See how I do?
Yeah.
That's all it is. Same on the other side. If I need to lower the line like I did, I just will do it, and I can always erase as I feel I need to. With just a damp brush and clean water. That didn't go badly.
No, not at all.
Now I'm going to put in some orange. I might take a little quinacridone into my orange, but definitely mostly just some orange. And just paint in his little scarecrowy nose. How are we doing today?
Good.
Is everybody having a good time?
Yeah.
Did we remember to send the gnomes?
Yes, the gnomes what showed up, and I think the gnomes are. Actually, I heard the gnome ding just a minute ago.
Okay.
So yeah,
you were just so quiet.
I was doing lots of camera adjustments.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's probably why you see.
Canvas yesterday.
Yeah, we had the camera set up a little differently yesterday. So I am having to compensate for the camera being farther over than it was usually. So I'm paying more attention to things. So you probably why I'm so focused today is like I'm like which camera switch.
I'm just taking my damp brush and sort of softening the edges here. See how you do? Just softening the edges, and it's just damp with water, and the paint hasn't really dried yet, so I've got some room. All right, so we're going to paint these in blue. Painting them in blue. Painting them in blue.
There's an interesting existential question.
I have existential answers.
Do you?
Good dough. Let's go.
Existence.
Beckett, let's go.
Okay. So,
Existence.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay.
Weirdest movie. Sorry, married for a long time. I'm going to paint some white in the eyes while he asks me whatever this question we've clearly lobbed up for.
This existential question.
Get my existential questions in.
How many paintings to get to the center of becoming a professional artist? How many do you have to sell?
Professional artist?
Yeah, how many paintings do you have to sell? And Shelley was asking this much more eloquently.
So it's not about your success. Okay, so here's the good and bad news on being a professional artist. Being a professional artist is actually not about a success metric, per se. It is about certain actions that you take.
Commitment.
So if you've created, not just selling your page, right? But you've created pages, you've started marketing, you've been putting your art there, you go out to shows, you've created a price list, you've joined your local art league, you've got your business cards, and you are dedicating a section of your life as a business to your art, you are a professional artist.
Yep.
Sometimes you're not as successful as a professional artist as you might like, and those are different metrics. But taking that transition from hobbyist painter, like painting for Sunday for fun, to being a professional is about looking at what you do in your art studio as a business and treating it as such, and taking those steps to market, to find collectors, to do those things. If you're interested in doing that, the book I highly recommend any artist thinking about taking that leap to read is Accelerating the Curve, A Roadmap to Success.
Ooh.
You can find it on Amazon. Do not pay $200 for the book. It'll come up on sale sometime at $30 and get it for that. It's $200 as much. And if you really, really have cash, she does consulting. But that is honestly one of the best treatises about what it is to make it locally that you can read. I don't get paid by that much, just an opinion I've had after reading many, many, many books on the subject. And someday maybe I will do a Sherpa book on the subject. There's no telling.
Yeah.
There's no telling at all. I'm going to show you how to do these leaves.
The leaves?
The leaves.
All right.
So I do like to take a little of my quinacridone into my CAD red when I do the leaves. It creates a really unusual color that I feel is super fall. It's so fall, you'll fall in love with it. Now,
Really?
If you're painting Liquitex Basics, I would strongly suggest you paint all your leaves white before you paint them with the color. If you're on Artist Loft, the student level, do the same. If you're on any of the student paints, do the same. Paint the leaves white first. If you're on Pro Paints, have a blast because you have a lot of pigment. You'll be fine. And it doesn't really matter which is which. I'm going to be real honest here. It's just, you paint with what you have. Those are just factors to consider when you're painting. I'm going to make a little line on the toe of my brush. I'm using my number 8 cat's tongue. And then I'm going to come here and make a little long heart. I may switch to my number 4 round to do these. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hard to say. But you can see I'm getting good coverage. But that's only because of what I'm using. So if you're using something else and you're not getting that coverage, it just means paint your leaves white first. That's all you got to do.
Now, if your leaves
switch to a number 4 round.
If your leaves aren't laying down smoothly, is there anything you can do to help improve that?
Well, it depends on what you mean by smoothly.
Like the paint's coming out kind of lumpy and not
That's
being...
your paint. That is your paint. And that's something up with your paint. I have a file on my Facebook group, and I've done a blog about it where I talk about the paint companies that I personally recommend. And the reason I recommend them is not because they specifically pay me or something, and I'm, I don't know, a hired gun for their company.
If you would like to pay the Sherpa, send an email to support@TheArtSherpa.com, and I'll help you out.
Right, but we would let you guys know where those interests are. Like I have a friendship with Senlier. I have friendships with Golden for sure.
Yeah,
and Holbein. But I have those friendships because I'm kind of already a fan.
And they send us stuff for us to try out, and we tell you guys when they do. So,
but you won't see certain products on my show even if they ask. You just won't. So I have a list of paint companies that I like, and they range a whole range of prices. So it's not about like, oh, it's like some bougie paint. It is just about what companies are really good and treat their consumers well.
What works?
And what works. If it works, it goes a long way to impress me. I'm going to do another little upward leaf. I'm going to curve this one. So sometimes I just make a little curve line and then, see, little curve leaves. So I'll list some off I like. I like Golden. I like Holbein. I like Senlier. I like Abstract Acrylic by Senlier, which is a student paint. I like M. Graham. Definitely. I like PBO, and I like Amsterdam Acrylic by Royal Talons, a student. But I really, really like, for student grade paints, the only one I really, really lean into is the Abstract.
And I like PPG and House of Color.
Yes. Not really helpful to this question, but now you know that about John.
That's right. I felt left out.
I hear you. I hear you feeling left out. I do. Now you just want to go through and you just want to make a mismatch of leaves. Kind of blowing different places, right? So it's not really a fast thing. Because painting hearts is a bit of a fussy business.
They're cool. Now there's a real tree that has hardy light leaves.
Yes, that's where I got the idea.
Do you know what it's called?
No, I was just on Pinterest and was like, that tree be cool.
It's like, I'm snagging your biology.
I did. I didn't snag an image, but I did snag its biology. Don't just steal images off Pinterest, guys. That ain't cool. But you can always be inspired by what's there. This would be what we would call inspiration. I saw heart-shaped leaves and included them in my painting. Repainting somebody's already published artwork is not inspiration. That's totally different activity. And I got a whole video about that called Art Crimes. Which is actually funnier and more lighthearted than it probably sounds. Because honestly, it's just something to start thinking about when you're a student, but not something to be afraid of or that particularly worried about yet. Good to think about. Good to look at.
Ponder on it.
Ponder on it.
I'm a good ponderer.
Yeah.
Learned that skill early. Much to my father's dismay.
That's funny if you're in our family. Anyways, and maybe it's funny in your family too.
This is true.
Maybe you're the ponderer of your family, much to their chagrin. So this is just, you just want to do a little bunch of leaves. It doesn't, there's not a particular number you have to do. You can do exactly what I have on the references. You can do less leaves. You can do more leaves. You could make it like a full leaf storm. It could be like leaves on layered leaves, because this is art. So you got to just go where the muse takes you. I will say some small, some big is a good idea.
Could you just have a lonely leaf?
You could just have one lonely leaf. And that's its own statement, isn't it?
It is.
It's its own little statement. I'll just do that many, because I think we got the point. Just leaves should blow off the canvas that direction, right? As you do. We don't need to do the highlight yet. Well, now that we've got our leaves, what have we finished? We've gotten all the way through step 3. So now we're going to go on to step 4, which is to start the straw hat, start the smile, frown, ruffle, and maybe pop a highlight on our leaves. We can handle that, right? Let's sip some water.
You can handle it.
We can all handle it. You at home can handle it. You can do this. It's super doable for you, okay? You've got this. Show up every weekend. We paint live like every weekend. Come by. 20, 30 paintings in, you'll be doing it with us. These lessons are all free. Why not, right? Yeah, that's me. I do that thing. I teach people how to paint for free.
And if you want to know about when we go live, oh, look at that.
Yes. If you want to make sure, because we are live off Facebook, we go live off YouTube. We have many, many different live classes, sometimes in groups. You just never know what I'm going to teach. So if you want to sign up for that, you go into your mobile phone and type into the number 33222. You type the word Art Sherpa and send it to that number. It's not on Facebook Messenger. That won't work.
Nope. The phone number that you send the message to is 33222.
Yep.
And then the message is TheArtSherpa. And then we get it and we send you a text message.
And you guys are like, yay! Maybe you're not yay. I don't know.
We call them gnomes because the gnomes deliver the SMS. It's gnomification.
It's gnomification, yo. I'm going to take a little black and brown. So when you come by the show and people are talking about the gnomes, that's what they mean. I'm going to take a little bit of this and sort of begin the process of lining on the outside. I'm going to go around my little eye here a little bit loosely. Not too bad, right?
Yeah.
Down around the face. Woo! I don't know. It's fun. Maybe up a bit up the little straw hat. We're going to have lots of straw, so we don't really have to do all of that. Definitely we should do our little smile. Look at that.
Yeah. Frame his eye in a little bit.
We're just starting to. We got lots of makeup to put on him, but right now we're just starting at this stage. There's lots of makeup that we're going to do. Many layers that we're going to get into. But the first thing that we've got to do is we got to paint in the purple. Purple is super easy. You're going to take some white over to your dog's purple. You're going to mix them together and you're going to make purple.
Purple.
Still purple. It's a lighter purple than this, which almost looks black and lives in a weird space on the color wheel. That purple lives in the weirdest location on the color wheel. If you're into color wheels, check it out sometime. You'll be like, what? That's so weird. Why do you sit there, dog's purple? All by yourself. Now I got to make a compliment for you because you don't have an easy, true compliment. With that weird yellow-green, but that's not a natural pigment on the wheel.
It's not like a real color. It's this thing that our brain makes.
Well, no, it's a real color, but most colors have a almost natural complement across the color wheel, right?
Mm-hmm.
But dioxazine is in such a deep location in three-dimensional color wheel that it actually doesn't really have that one, and you have to kind of know what it would be, which is this really specific kind of chartreusey yellow-green color that you make. But it's not like there's this obvious, easy to find one.
What's the that last coating you put on a painting to protect it?
Varnish.
Yeah. What
yes.
Now is that something that you should do on all your paintings?
You can. You don't have to.
What is it for?
So acrylic paint can have very different finishes. Some of it can be glossy, some of it can be matte. That can be irritating to you as an artist. So the first thing that varnish does is gives it all the same finish.
Oh.
So you're not looking at different little reflective finishes, right? The second thing it does is it deepens the colors that you did use, and it also protects the painting underneath a bit from the ravages of the environment and time. Now, acrylic is a very different and new medium, and the powers that be in the art world are actually saying, hey, in spite of the fact that acrylic is like the dust magnet of all dust magnets, you don't have to varnish. But what they're really saying is that for the purposes of restoration, it makes it really hard.
Nope.
But you can, and I often do. Please just always follow the instructions on the varnish bottle. Very, very carefully. Please, 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 please.
Gotcha.
Because that's the one place you will just completely ruin your painting is if you don't follow their little instructions, or you rush, or you do it on a bad weather day, or you let a lot of pet hair in the room. Man, it is done. It is one and done.
So it's almost better to not varnish unless you need to varnish.
What I would say is there'll be perfect days for varnish. If you have paintings that you would like to varnish, it has benefits. If you're good at following the instructions, it's fantastic to do. If you know you're really bad at following the instructions, you have to follow the instructions to do it. I wish there was another way to get around that, but it's super important.
Yeah, you got to know the humidity of the day, the temperature. Varnish is one of those things that's very temperamental.
It's super temperamental. Let's just call it what it is. It's moody. Moody varnish. I'm going to take my number 8 cat's tongue. I'm going to get a little bit of my black into my yellow ochre. I don't mind if it's a little bit streaky, but I don't want it to be too dark. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to make some little straw brush strokes. And you're going to notice that I will bring them along the edge and sort of fling them out. See what it meant about like I'm going to take some of these out over the hat?
flickiness.
Some flickiness over the hat because this is straw. And I do want the sky to kind of shimmer through a bit. Not too much, but a bit.
Now, this is not the last straw.
This is not the last straw. There will be many more straws.
Not for my children, but for this scarecrow, there will be.
There's more straws.
There's lots more straws here.
That was a scary dad joke. And all the dads went, "That's right, youngin." You know what's coming.
See, that was a dad joke. That was an inside dad joke.
It was an inside dad joke. So we've got that in, and that really gets us almost all the way through, but we can, while we're here, since this is dry, take our cat's tongue, load up a little bit of our bright orange, and come and add a bit of a little highlight to your leaves. I like to just put a little bit here and there. I know, it's silly, but I really enjoy it.
Is it silly?
You know, I never know. As an artist, like sometimes you're just like, because you're doing things just because it gives your art brain joy.
I think it's pretty awesome.
Having the two little values there just makes my little art brain happy, and I like to make sure that these leaves are a little multi-dimensional. You could also do it with your round. You don't have to do it with the brush I'm using. But that'll, let you get those leaves, and you can, anywhere you want to deepen them. See, if I come back with any of the cad red at all, it takes them even deeper and helps them pop off the canvas, which is the whole point of the leaves. Is they're like little glowing hearts, see, because he loved fall. There's a whole backstory here. We just finished stage 4, yo. And we're about to get on to stage 5. So that means we're like 2/3 of the way through the painting. Woo! I know what I want to do to celebrate that.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I hope it works. Yes!
It should work. And I think that I even like be able to go over here and find the button. And look. You got a little Rhino Neil in the background.
You gotta celebrate the wins, guys. Woo! Okay. I'm getting... Woo! It's like Bubba Apocalypse over here. These are our Texas snowflakes.
Yeah.
That's what we like for that. And, woo! Okay, so now we start to do the work that finishes this piece up. Here is what I would consider and generally look at and say it's an underpainting. And this is where a lot of people get frustrated. They don't feel like they like how things are working out and they quit. But really, they're just a little over halfway done, and they don't know where the finishing part is. So that's one of the good things that does come out of a tutorial, is that you start to see where your finish happens at. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my number 4, and I'm going to get just a little of my burnt sienna on there. And I do this weird little thing. It's like makeup. I'm going to come to the outside of his little eyes and just brush a little bit of that burnt sienna. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Now, when you're doing like art dolls, you often do these little makeup tricks on their little cloth faces. I think that's why I am inclined to want to do that. It's a very similar thinking. Getting that in there.
You could, if you were clever, give your scarecrow crow's feet.
Yeah. I just took some white over to my quinacridone, and sometimes John makes me laugh so hard I forget to teach.
I pulled that one straight from my mom from chat.
No, your mom did that one?
Yeah.
Way to go, Linda. So we're going to just pull this back. Stealing your mom's jokes, man. That's pretty rough, John.
Oh, no, man. I'll totally scrape chat for good humor.
I know you will. No, your jokes could be stolen for use in the show.
Absolutely.
All right. How are we doing?
Now,
so we're going to come up here and, really hit this.
So
there we go.
My sunshine would like to know
My sunshine, how you doing?
How do you make your scarecrow look old?
Uh,
How do you old them up?
yeah, I'm not. You know what? Let me think about that. If I was going to be doing that, how would I make my scarecrow look old?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
You could put some
I
wrinkle
really
lines.
haven't thought about like aging my scarecrow.
You could give him some wrinkles.
You could do some little jowl wrinkles. You could make the smile a little smaller and do some of the little parentheses here. You could add those crow's feet. You could do like maybe some gray straw hair.
I think the eyes tend to be.
That's an interesting thought. Like now you've given me something where I'm like, now I want to go see if I can like paint a really old looking scarecrow.
She's gonna have a scarecrow study.
It's probably gonna happen. So what I did there is I just added a little pink and white and kind of pinked and white that, lit it up. Let's get another little coat of our blue on here. This time when we take the blue on, add a bit of white to it. It just improves its coverage some. Not a lot, guys. You're not trying to make a sky blue. You still want your blue to be very deeply blue. You still want that. You're just going to want it to really cover what's underneath. See how we're doing? Making sure that we have good coverage right there. Get that good coverage. Get some good paint coverage, yo. That's good.
Yeah.
Holding it, handling it, doing well. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my brown and my black, and I'm going to make a very, not pure black color, right? It's going to be little, there's going to be a little hint of brown to it, but it's going to be dark. And I'm going to make little stitch marks. See the little stitch marks?
Mm-hmm.
Sew your little dude up. Yeah. And then across the mouth, I like to add that. The little stitch work that kind of, you know, makes it clear that this is a made by hand, made by mommy thing.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. That's doing quite well.
I like them.
Yeah, and you're doing kind of good there.
Kind of coming together.
Now, I'm going to get back into my number 8. I'm going to come over here and start to make some lighter straw. So I'm going to take a little of my pure yellow ochre and white, and we're going to begin to talk about the straw here. So these little marks will be open. There we're doing. It's not really that. It's just about creating that little bit of texture.
The layering of color and texture.
Just a little bit, yeah. Getting that going. Sometimes it's nice to put a few out there, kind of into the wind. And you can see I'm leaving like a lot of what's underneath.
Let it show through.
Let it show through. It's a good time too if you want to get, you know, if you need a second coat for anything like your purple. Right? Hit that second coat. And then we're going to second coat the green. And that's just to improve the finish of the painting, right?
Mm.
Now I'm going to take whatever green paint I have left. I have none left. So I'll take none of it. No, I'm going to grab some pure just phthalo. And I'm just going to paint over what I already have. And those 2 coats should give it quite a nice finished look.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll flip it over to make it easy. Always move your canvas, not your body. How you guys doing?
Good, except I was moving the wrong camera.
Everybody find the video?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we got a great crowd. We got over 520 people here right now. 220. It was like,
whoa!
A couple more than that.
Did I say something offensive at the beginning of the video? Usually I don't, because it's art. It's, you know, I mean.
Oh, do you know what? I saw the greatest post on Facebook.
What was it?
It was, say the most controversial, non-political thing you can. And like I was like, oh man, in our art world, this is just, that's like fire. Like,
No, we don't do any of that.
Like,
we shut that controversy down. Shut it down.
white. Because like you could say titanium white, but you have like strong opinions about titanium white or strong opinions about like carbon black.
You know, you don't even need to go that deep. You could be like, realism is the only form of art, and just throw that out into the ring and watch everybody lose their minds. Don't do that. The world does not need more of that. What you should say is all forms of art are valid.
And what we know, we know that Dadaism is the only true form of art.
Well, you know, I kind of, you know me, I'm a Beatrice Woods fan, so, but I don't do Dadaism. So here I'm going, and I'm adding a little bit of white to my yellow, and I might grab some yellow ochre just to kind of tie it together, and I'm going to do this really cool thing. I'm going to go make these little crisscross lines. I'm just crisscrossing these little lines, and get a lot more white into it. And then just even that highlight. See how that is? There you go. A little bit of a straw hat. Like you do.
And I'm going to say thank you to our patrons.
I'm going to let you do that while it dry because I need it to be dry for me to put the black on.
Oh, that's good. So I'm going to say thank you, Michelle, and all of our patrons out there. But thank you for Michelle for helping us with our super chat there. And you guys, all of you patrons, if you have, we really love that you guys join us. Thank you for all of the help and support. You guys help keep our studio up and operating and letting us do what we get to do, which is make free art videos for you. And that was my impromptu bad poem.
You made a poem?
I did not mean to.
I'm going to sip my water right now because I'm going to come back and check this exact spot. Drop emojis that represent what John's poem meant to you.
But remember, they're monitoring emoji usage now.
Only on Facebook.
Oh, that's true.
They haven't gotten to YouTube yet. It's still a family-friendly show.
Is it?
Yes, we have a family-friendly show.
We are very family.
But Facebook right now is monitoring emojis, so I guess be careful out there, folks.
Emoji land.
In emoji land, I don't even know how to respond to that. It's so weird, in my opinion. All right, so but I communicate through a lot of emojis. I'm going to get a little bit of black, and I'm going to put in my pupils. These are just little circles at the corners here. See how we do?
They are the sphincter in your eye.
They are that. That is scientifically true. And then you're going to put another one over here. By the way, this is very similar to what you do if you were painting realistic eyes. So this is super informational. I was thinking that when I did it, I'm like, there's a lot of eye education that I unintentionally threw in there.
It's true.
Guess what? When we put in this little dot here, it will be the end of step 5.
Is it?
Yeah. Now, you've got to do some little flowers. I'm going to move up his dot maybe a little bit higher than I initially did it just because I want room for the petals.
Oh.
So I'm going to put it there.
Yep.
Just a bit above. And that's an adjustment that I made from having painted one once and then saying, man, I don't have enough room for all the petals. Woo! Let's check that out. Where are we at? We just finished all the stages. Oh, wait, nope. Why'd I say that?
I don't know.
Because you know what we forgot to do?
I do not.
Outline the little smile frown.
Oh, that's true. You gotta do that.
Yeah. See, that's why I check my stages, because even though I'm the artist, sometimes what happens is blocking John's camera.
But I'm the artist.
And then down the shoulder. There you go. So now we've got that outline. Checking everything.
That looks
checking everything.
Cool.
Oh, looks like I've got a black outline I got to do around the eye too still.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to do. I like to check everything. Uh-oh, I got a little crazy with my lash.
You got a little lash action.
The lashes are going to be like lash-tastic. The CoverGirl's going to be calling us in a second going, we would like your Scarecrow to be the next CoverGirl model for this CoverGirl mascara. I'm clearly not up on CoverGirl ads.
Be this year's CoverCrow.
Okay, there we go. Cover Crow is done. Boop-a-doo. So now we are on to all the finishing touches that pull the painting together.
That's an awesome blanket statement. Now all the finishing touches to finish the painting. What's that mean? We're doing the last part.
We're doing the last part. All those little... So in a painting at about this stage, there's these little highlights and shadows and decorative touches that are what actually really finish the painting for you and give it its unique spice and flavor. I'm going to put out a little more white because I know I'm going to need it for...
Spice and flavor?
My weird little... curlicues and my strange little straw hair and all the stuff that I've got going on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some white. You could use craft white. You could use fluid white. In this particular, today I'm going to just show you me thinning some heavy body titanium white with water, swirl around till it's fluid, and then I'm going to make little swirls. Why?
Because they're decorative.
They're so cute.
That's right. This is a +2 to your cute.
It does help.
You can add that to your character sheet.
Sometimes I swirl them right. Sometimes I swirl them left. It's whatever you really want to do is totally up to you. Your swirls, they're up to you.
Swirls can tell you a lot about someone.
Now I'm going to take a little bit of my turquoise and some of this fresh new white. What? Yep. Make a very light color. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to come towards the pupil. And I'm going to make these little dashes. What? Yeah, that's what we did. A lot of people who paint here really love how we do eyes. And I have to say, I have really certainly gotten a lot of people into their realistic eye painting. But even here, if you paint with me for a minute, you know there's some carryover, right? What are we doing? We've done this before when we were doing our realistic eyes. These things do apply. Now I'm going to get my just blue. I'll thin it with some water so it flows off my brush easily. And I'll just come here and I will make a line underneath and then just go ahead and come in between those little dividers. Look at that. Doesn't that just compute up the eye? If you need to go back with, you know, a little turquoise, you can. It's all doable. It's all achievable. It really is. I can't do any more eyelashes right now because I need to put my hair on, and then I gotta get then I get a flower on, and then I think I can eyelash. But hair goes next. So the hair is going to be some yellow and some white on my number 4 round. Right, here we go. And the first part of this that we're going to do is we're going to just make some downward little strokes. See how it's very straw-like?
Yeah.
So one time where, you know, having straw-like hair is a good thing.
You're just like, tick, tick, tick.
Look, I don't want to take out all my detail that I've already painted, but I do need to show things off, and you want some of them to be kind of a bright yellow.
Very flicky.
Very flicky. And I'm going to take a little bit of my white and yellow, and then I do this cool kind of thing where I go, look at that.
Add some.
This weird little texture that totally layers into your hair, and it's so cool.
It makes you think the little, you know, the little tips of the
grasses.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Like wheat.
Like wheat.
Haze.
Haze. That was pretty fun. While you're here, you can just take some of this yellow and white and dot the inside of your sunflower if you want.
So it seems the only
Number 4 round still.
That's just you're just putting little dots.
Little dots. You could do fluid paint. You could do crisscrosses. You can do patterns inside the flowers. Anything you really want. It's just about like just giving yourself some interest and fascination with what you've got. Now, to do my yellow petals, I'm going to take a little of my orange and a little of my cad yellow together. And we're going to do this cool kind of easier than you'd think little petal that goes around. It just goes like that. Just petal.
That crazy camera angle to get me today.
Can I get out of the way for it?
Yeah, you're good. When you move back, it totally makes it easy.
You're just kind of doing these little loop petals.
Little loopy petal.
Yeah. They have a few little layers, so you're not even under any pressure. And we'll go around and redefine on the black again in a minute, but it's just nice to...
Well, it seems like the only thing this scarecrow should be concerned about is hungry ponies.
Hungry ponies are a real problem in the scarecrow community.
I can see that.
When you get on the Reddit boards, that's all the stuff is like how to survive.
how to survive the nat track coming by.
The one person that is in the NATRC just went, wait, what? We never get talked about. And there'll be a comment someday on the channel. I don't know when, maybe today, maybe 2 years from now. So we're just making those little loopy petals.
Loopy petal. Pony attractor.
Ponies do like these. Grab me a little orange. And you can see I just use that to sort of finish that out. You give those little petals some personality. And always like just turn your petals as you need to. Right? Just see them. I can always come back around with a little bit of black and make sure the button looks neat and tidy. What? Yeah. And while that's all having a dry, because it needs to have a little bit of a dry, I'm going to come in here and get some black paint on the tip of my number 4 round. And let's put in some lashes. These are going to come down to the corner. Ooh, we're lashing it up. We're doing like full on like Betty Boop here.
That's all in just the little flick.
That is all about the flick. It's about having the paint on the tip of the brush here, right? And about having your pressure release as you carry through the stroke. Right? Because I just let's release the pressure when I'm carrying through the stroke. And I tend to curve the strokes. Got a little close to the edge of the painting here. So maybe not as many lashes there. But we've got some lashes going on. Now I am going to get into my fluid paint here for the last couple of things that I do. You could just thin your white paint again. But I'm just going to use this to wrap up. So if you're not familiar what this is Titanium White by Gold, and it's a fluid paint. If you look at this and go, ah, it's too much money, go grab this in white. They have titanium white. Whatever's good. Whatever's super good. I'm going to make a big dot and a little dot. Make a big dot and a little dot. And then I'm going to do a fun thing. I'm going to come around in a very loose little sort of sketchy style around the flower. See that?
Yeah.
And it just gives it a little kind of folk art finish dimension.
A little style.
It's got a little flair. You could do a Posca pen on that technique if you were not into doing it with paint. It's just about a little sketch around your little flower.
Pretty fast.
Huh?
That came together really fast.
It did. A little bit around there. And now I'm going to sign it. What? Yep, that's where we're at. We're at the signature. I'm going to take it all in. So cute.
He really is.
So cute. Please share it with me online. I cannot wait to see your version. You can put these on the website. You can come by and share these on Facebook or Pinterest or Twitter or Instagram. I try to check all those places to see y'all's artwork. Helps me be a better teacher. I love to see it. We have got some cool Facebook Lives coming up this week.
Yeah, we do.
So get over and follow us on the Facebook page. We're going to get galactic in there. And then next weekend, we've got some really gorgeous stuff for you to do. So check that out all week. Cool stuff. Oh, Wednesday, there's the coolest painting. It is the November color with snow. It's so awesome. All right. Forward. There we go. What do we do? We did this guy.
He turned out so nice.
Isn't he cute? And, you know, once you do this one, you're going to be able to think of other ideas. You're going to change up the clothing. You're going to change up the face look. You'll make ones that are happy, that are sad. You can, hey, maybe you can age them. You know, whatever you want to do, but just change it up. And you can have all kinds of cute pumpkin patch, like kids and scarecrows all over your house on all the things. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. And I want to see you at an easel really soon. Bye-bye.